Good morning. Thank you all so much for being here today. Today we are here to announce a first in the nation life-saving program and partnership. I want to begin today by introducing Pierce's Pledge. This organization was founded by Leslie Hugh in memory of her 9-year-old son Pierce, whose life was tragically cut short during a custody dispute. Out of unimaginable loss, Leslie turned grief into action, creating a movement to protect other families from the same pain. Pierce's Pledge works with lawyers, mediators, custody partners, and judges to protect children during volatile disputes and to create safe environments when families are at their most vulnerable. Now, through this partnership with the San Francisco Police Department, Pierce's Pledge is taking another step forward by launching a safe gun storage program for families in crisis. Under this program, starting today, any San Francisco resident can bring firearms to one of our district stations, any one of our district stations, where they can be securely stored at no cost for up to 1 year. This gives families a safe and a practical option when circumstances change and it is no longer safe to keep a gun at home. It is a simple idea with profound impact. If a loved one is struggling, if a teen is in crisis, if a custody dispute has escalated. This program provides a way to remove firearms from the situation before tragedy can occur. First in the nation. Today is about leadership. Today is about San Francisco leading the fight against gun violence. Today is about the leadership and courage of Leslie Hugh. Today is about the leadership of Assemblymember Catherine Stephanie, who led the fight against gun violence here in San Francisco and now in Sacramento. Today is about the leadership of Mayor Daniel Lurie and the San Francisco Police Department for prioritizing safety in all of its forms. Today is about the leadership of David Chu, our city attorney, who is fighting the fight to keep us safe both here and from threats from Washington. And today is about the leadership of Sheriff Paul Miyamoto. I want to also thank Deputy Chief Nicole Jones of the San Francisco Police Department for being here and for keeping us safe every day. We need to make sure that every San Franciscan knows that this program exists and that there are safe options for them when they need it most. This is about responsibility, this is about prevention, this is about protecting our communities and our families. It is about saving lives. San Francisco is leading with real, tangible action. And for that action, I am honored to welcome up Leslie Hugh.
Thank you, Supervisor Sherrill, for leading this program and for convening us here today. My name is Leslie Hugh, and I'm Pierce Howard Hugh's mom. My beautiful son, Pierce, was a happy, hilarious boy who loved telling jokes, playing Minecraft, jumping on furniture, and eating chocolate ice cream while taking a bath. Pierce loved his mom, his family, his friends, his school, Stewart Hall for Boys, the 49ers, and this city where he was born and raised. On January the 13th, 2021, I went to pick Pierce up at school, but he wasn't there. After frantically searching for him, I walked into this very station through these very doors right here. It was here that I would receive the news that broke my soul into a million pieces. I was told that I would never be able to see my son ever again. Earlier that morning, Pierce had been shot and killed by his father, my ex-husband, who turned the gun on himself. Pierce was only 9 years old. At the time, we're in the middle of a custody court, and when it became clear that the ruling was going to go in my favor, Pierce was taken from us forever. Unfathomably, what happened to Pierce happens every 6 days in America. A child is killed by a parent or a guardian during a custody dispute every 6 days. In the wake of this tragedy, we started an organization called Pierce's Pledge, and as Supervisor Sherrill told you, we asked family law attorneys to talk to their clients about firearms and provide resources to safely store those firearms outside the home when needed. To support our mission, our team began looking for options for people who wanted to store guns outside of their home. We ended up calling every gun store in America, over 54,000, and created the first and only national off-site gun storage map, listing about 1,800 locations that offer off-site storage. But in San Francisco, because there are no gun stores, there are no off-site gun storage locations. But today, that changes. We brought this issue to our elected leaders, and what we got in return was not thoughts and prayers, but we got action. That's exactly what we need to prevent more gun deaths. So today, we are grateful to announce the Pierce's Pledge Safe Storage Program with the SFPD. And like Supervisor Sherrill said, San Francisco residents can bring their firearms to any of the 10 SFPD locations throughout the city for free. It's groundbreaking. I stand here not only as Pierce's mom, but as a representative for countless parents across this city, and I want to thank our leaders for hearing our cries and taking action that will help save innocent lives. Now I have a call of action to all of us. In my case, I had been divorced for 5 years before things escalated and we had to return to custody court. I had forgotten about the firearms in Pierce's dad's house. I just forgot to ask, and nobody brought it up. So each of us have the power to save a life by not being afraid to talk about firearms in a moment of crisis. There are times when it is safer to have the firearm outside of the home than inside, like when a loved one has experienced mental health crisis, when somebody is struggling with suicidal thoughts, a custody dispute, or when there's domestic violence. Guns are the leading cause of death of children under the age of 19. It is the leading cause. 23 kids a day are shot. 80% of the guns in teen suicide come from the home. 3/4 of the guns used in school shootings come from the home. So we need more options to allow us to get them out of the home when we need it. And thanks to this program, we have it in San Francisco. This groundbreaking program is a result of collective action, and I want to recognize the incredible people that made it possible. Mayor Lurie, since taking office, you've prioritized public safety, and your leadership on this issue shows your commitment to protecting our children at all costs. Supervisor Sherrill, thank you for standing beside me and the entire team at Pierce's Pledge. Your leadership and your friendship mean the world to me. Assemblymember Stephanie, thank you for your strong legacy in gun violence prevention in District 2 and for continuing to champion this cause in Sacramento and being the warrior that you are. To the San Francisco Police Department, thank you for taking a stand and working tirelessly to bring this program to life. This initiative will save lives and will inspire so many others to take a stand too. We are honored to work alongside you. To City Attorney David Chu, thank you for standing with us and constantly fighting for the safety and rights of San Franciscans. And to the team at Pierce's Pledge, Cody, Nika, Christy, Julia, Rob, and Haley, your dedication and love are building an incredible legacy for my peers. And finally, I want to say a special thanks to the officers here at Northern Station who were here on duty with me that day. I know that Pierce's death was hard for you, but you guys showed up with courage and bravery and kindness, and I'm forever grateful to that compassion that you showed me that day. Pierce's life was breathtakingly short. Only 9 years, but with the help of so many of you, we're building a legacy in his name, a legacy that protects others from senseless gun violence, and a legacy that will save the life of another child. And now it's my honor to invite Mayor Lurie to the podium. Thank you again for your leadership and for your support.
Thank you. It's unbelievably courageous of you to relive your pain and your family's pain so that no one else has to. Your advocacy and hard work have brought us here today, and it's my honor to stand alongside you and everybody else up here. I have a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old. And I dropped my son off at work today, at school today. We're here to announce Pierce's Pledge, the first program of its kind in the United States, a program that allows people to safely store firearms at every police station in our city. It is a simple idea with a powerful goal: to protect our children and save lives by helping families remove firearms from the home during volatile custody disputes. Anytime we lose someone to gun violence, it is heartbreaking. And when that violence takes the life of a child, it's that much more devastating. In this country, gun violence touches all of us. Every week, a child is killed by a parent or step-parent during divorce or custody disputes. Every week. That reality is unacceptable, especially when we can work to prevent it. Pierce's Pledge is about prevention. It is about honoring the memory of a young boy, and it is making sure that his legacy is not only remembered, but carried forward into action. Safe gun storage saves lives, whether it prevents a suicide, an accidental shooting, or the kind of tragedy that Leslie and her family endured. The impacts of this program extend across every community, and the benefits are lasting. None of this happened overnight. It took years of persistence, heartbreak, that turned into determination and a belief that change was possible. What you have done is extraordinary. You've taken grief and turned it into a force that will protect countless others. That is how we honor Pierce's legacy. That is how we ensure his story leads to change. And alongside the work of Leslie to make Pierce's Pledge possible has been Supervisor Stephen Sherrill. I'm grateful to his leadership and his partnership on the board. Thank you, Supervisor. The Supervisor, this is not going to just help your district, but it is going to help our entire city. And Assemblymember Catherine Stepney, I know this work started with you, so thank you for your incredible dedication, and I'm glad that you're here to see it over the finish line today. This is how change happens. It takes community. Pierce's Pledge shows that San Francisco can lead the way in keeping families safe and protecting children from the pain of gun violence. I would like now to welcome up Assemblymember Catherine Stepney.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Catherine Stepney. I proudly represent Assembly District 19, which is the west side of San Francisco and parts of northern San Mateo County. I am incredibly grateful to Supervisor Sherrill for bringing us all here today, and all those that I have worked with in the gun violence prevention movement. I got involved with the gun violence prevention movement way back in 1999 after Columbine. And what we say in our movement, there's so many moments of feeling absolutely broken. And I felt broken in April of 1999 when I saw high school students bloodied, jumping out of second-story windows because Their classmates had easy access to weapons and had gunned them and their teachers down. I felt broken that day. And I immediately got involved with the Brady campaign and started to see the power of the gun lobby and what it just might do to our country. And now we know what it's done. As Leslie mentioned, gun violence, guns are now the leading cause of death for children in our country. I felt broken in July of 2012 after someone came into a movie theater and shot and killed 12 people so easily. Again, unfettered access to guns. I felt broken in December of 2012 when, after dropping my son off at school, he was in second grade at the time, it was his birthday, he was there delivering cupcakes for his class, and I got in my car and I started to drive to City Hall. And I heard about 20 first graders being gunned down by assault rifles in their elementary school. And I thought, well, this has got to be it. This has got to be when we start changing gun laws in our country. And it wasn't. And I felt even more broken. So did so many other moms that day. And we started Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. And I was the proud leader of that group in San Francisco for 5 years before I became supervisor of District 2. And I have been so privileged and honored to work alongside people like City Attorney David Chu as we implement gun violence restraining orders in this city. And we do everything we can in this city to make sure people don't have access to guns. But nothing prepared me for the day that I got the call in January of 2021 when I heard about a 9-year-old child in my district in the Marina being shot and killed by his father. And then I remember hearing who it happened to, and I said, I know her. And I couldn't believe another mother had to go through such loss. And I remember reaching out to Leslie, one of the hardest calls I think I've ever made, and just sobbing as she told me her story, and just saying to her, what can I do? What can I do to help? She told me about Pierce's pledge. And I've done everything I can to make certain that we, as we go forward, we make certain that guns are out of the hands of those that are going through horrible custody disputes. It was my honor to recognize Leslie Hugh as Woman of the Year, of Assembly 19's Women of the Year in March in the Assembly because of her courageous work and turning her pain into advocacy. You know, I would say I've never seen anything like it. I see it all the time in the gun violence movement, but to see Leslie and to know the incredible women behind her has been it just has filled my soul with hope. And to be here today, to know what the San Francisco Police Department has agreed to do, I've always loved the San Francisco Police Department. I've always stood with them. And to know they have partnered with Leslie Hugh and Pierce's Pledge in this way is just remarkable. And I thank them so much for doing so. I talked about feeling broken, and I'm wearing this Pierce's Pledge little pin. It's a Band-Aid over a heart. And in the gun violence prevention movement, what we do is we try to piece each other back together. This may feel like Band-Aids, but there are so many Band-Aids out there and so many of us working to make sure that we have a country and we have communities that are free from gun violence. And with the help of Stephen Sherrill, David Chu, our incredible mayor, Mayor Lurie, San Francisco Police Department, Sheriff Miyamoto, and all of you, we're going to continue to put us all back together again. We are going to turn the tide on gun violence in this country. It's starting with so many different local actions, and this is one of them. So thank you. It is an honor and privilege to be here today. Leslie, I will always be here for you in whatever you do. I absolutely love and adore you. And thank you to everyone in this movement that refuses to give up. Keep up the hope, because it is events like this, it is people like this behind me that won't let the status quo stand. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Deputy Chief Nicole Jones with the San Francisco Police Department. We'd like to thank all of the support that we have here today. Today, we are pleased to announce the SFPD's partnership with Pierce's Pledge. This June would have been Pierce's 14th birthday, but he was tragically killed just over 4 years ago by his father during a volatile custody dispute. I was working here at Northern Station the day that Pierce was murdered. And when we listened to the radio traffic for the officers responding to that event, our hearts shattered. So the SFPD is doing everything we can to prevent tragic incidents like these from occurring in our city again. And that's why we've partnered with Pierce's Pledge to help remove firearms from the home during these disputes and other family law matters. We want the public to know that they can surrender firearms to any of our 10 district stations. We will store the firearm for up to 1 year at no cost. If there's any concern in your home, don't hesitate. Secure your firearm and inform one of our officers that you are storing it as part of Pierce's Pledge. We'd ask that you not carry the firearm into the station if at all possible. And if you can, please make sure it's unloaded and locked in a secure container. If you drive, leave it in your vehicle. We know what to do from there. So our officers will secure the firearm, provide a receipt, and send it off-site for storage. And we want to reiterate, this is a free service. Cost should not be a deterrent for anybody to take advantage of this program. And as a reminder, of course, if you or anyone you know is in imminent danger, please call 911 and we will respond. If you are interested in securing a firearm or want to know more information, you can call SFPD's Property Control Division Firearm Unit at 415-553-1377. Leslie, we just want to tell you how important our partnership with you is to us, and we are so thrilled to be part of honoring Pierce's legacy. So thank you. And I'd like to introduce City Attorney David Chu next.
Thank you, and good morning. I've been thinking about this event all weekend, in part because I have a 9-year-old. A 9-year-old who, like our mayor, I drop off every morning. A 9-year-old who asked me this morning, Papa, where are you going to? What do you got this morning? And I couldn't tell him. And like all of us, I am in awe of the woman who's standing behind me. Leslie, your courage, your compassion, your bravery, you are a model, you are a beacon to all the rest of us of what we need to do at this moment. But the tragic thing about this is there are thousands of Leslies in our communities across our country. And every person here has been impacted by gun violence. Like Assemblywoman Stephanie, I remember my moment when I decided I had to get more involved. It was the summer of 1993 when a deranged gunman entered the law firm of Pettit and Martin at 101 California and cut short too many lives, including the lives of parents who will never be able to see their children grow up. When I was in the legislature, I helped to start the Gun Violence Working Group, and we authored a number of new laws in our state that when I became city attorney, I had the opportunity to enforce. And I want to thank then Supervisor, now Assemblymember Stephanie, for working with us to launch our Gun Violence Restraining Order program. Because like what we are talking about today with Pierce's Pledge, we are asking San Franciscans who know about guns in our household to let us know, so that we can not only store them here, but if we need to, our office, my office, can go to court to remove them from households where someone is a danger to themselves or to each other. Because we know that these are guns that are used in too many circumstances, whether it be a teenager who is suicidal, whether it be someone who is in a custody battle, or someone who has a beef with a fellow San Franciscan. This has got to stop. And I want to thank all of our partners who are so invested in this work, from our San Francisco Police Department, to our sheriff, to, of course, our mayor who has prioritized public safety, I want to thank Supervisor Sherrill, who is carrying on the proud legacy of District 2 supervisors in fighting against gun violence. And let me end with this. Our work is not done. When I get into my car, as I told Leslie, I am calling several of my city attorney colleagues around the state and to say what is happening in San Francisco needs to go statewide and countrywide. But at the end of the day, for us, this work will not be done until we have a day when there are no more Leslies, when there is not a mother who does not need to be consoled, when we don't have to go to yet another funeral of another 9-year-old. And until that day, we will fight together, we will work together. Godspeed and thank you. And with that, I'm pleased to bring up someone who has been helping to keep us all safe, and that is our great Sheriff Paul Miyamoto.
Good morning. There's not much more that I can say that's not already been said. I do want to acknowledge that this gives us the opportunity to make sure that there are more safe options for people. Up to today's announcement, we've been challenged with trying to meet the problem of collecting the firearms. We've been challenged with the volatile, emotional proceedings that occur in family court on a daily basis. We want to prevent tragedies from occurring. In order to do that, we need people's help. And Leslie, you represent not just a mom who demanded action, but a mom who took action. And I want to thank you for that, because as Assemblymember Stephanie mentioned, this is a continuing fight to keep people safe. And it goes beyond having a tragedy occur where first responders have to come and pick up the pieces. It goes beyond legislation. It goes beyond processes. It goes beyond the courts. It speaks to us as a community working together to get things done. And this is a representation of that. We deal with the court process every single day at the Sheriff's Office. We see the tragedy unfold. We see the results of human interactions not working out, and keeping people safe, making sure there's no opportunity for people to hurt each other is something that is the community's responsibility, not just the process. So thank you, Leslie, for the work you've done. Thank you, everyone here, for the work we've done. We all have children. We all have a connection. We're all a family here working in San Francisco to keep people safe. And we're working to keep families safe. And I thank you, Leslie, for the work you've done to continue that. Thank you.
Can you explain process-wise what is still left to do with education? Because I imagine some people after this, like let's say how you said, you just forgot that your ex-husband had that. I'm so sorry for sharing your story. But what after this, what kind of continued communication does the city need to do to make sure people know that this is an option?
For the court system itself, we'll be working with the presiding judge and all of the judges to make sure at the Civic Center Courthouse and during the process itself that this information is shared with anybody engaged in any of the court processes regarding family law. I think that's the very important thing. I think what we're doing here right now, making sure that the public is informed about this option, about this opportunity. And I know that there's also websites that you can go to. You can go to either the police departments, the sheriff's offices. Leslie, you have a website, I think, that also will provide that information. And of course, the city attorney has continued to partner with us in our gun violence reduction, and that will be available as well.
And I know you said up to, you want to say something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Right. So I want to say that for Pierce's Pledge, we are continuously working with family law attorneys. So we're going to every conference, talking to judges. What the pledge does is ask these attorneys to just put in the retainer. Once it's a retainer, it takes away the energy that, me asking an ex-husband to remove the guns, right? It takes all that out, and now all of a sudden it becomes standard process. So I'm happy to report, though, that we got a message from a family law attorney, from another family law attorney who said, I'm in a case, It's really volatile. I'm concerned about my own client. The judge probably will rule against him. I need help with the firearm. What do I do? So we were able to give him our website. So piercespledge.org/gun storage has a map. You could put your zip code in. They were able to go into a zip code, and we got confirmation that they were safely able to get the guns out of the house. And so these kids are protected. You know, there won't be gun violence in their home for a ruling that somebody is not in a mental state that can handle. So we also have gunstoragemap.com for anybody who'd like to look for any licensed off-site gun storage in the nation. You could go there too. So we have those two websites as resources.
One question for Leslie. Have you collaborated with community-based organizations such as the Unified School District or colleges and universities?
We work with some universities, like we're working right now with Stanford. They're helping us to organize the data, look at an unpublished study as gun violence with filicide, whether there's a proven study that'll change. We want to work with more schools. We want to get this resource out to people. This is a fundamental, it's an option now for people. What they've built us, SFPD, is it's almost like seatbelts in the car. Now we can go out and tell people to buckle your seatbelt, but what they've given us is actually putting them in the car. So now we can go advocate. And now we have sent our map to University of Massachusetts, medical pediatric hospital. We're with the Marin and San Francisco Medical Society. We're trying to get them into the hospitals here. We're just getting resources out to people. Seatbelts in the car. Now we can go and advocate to talk about when do you store your gun and when do you need to store it out of the home versus a safe in the home.
Yeah, and I know you all mentioned that this is up to a year. Is that like required to be a year? Because I know there's the court process, but then if someone just is concerned about having a firearm in their home and wants to drop it off on their own accord, can they do that? How does that work?
So let's talk about several different processes. Part of what today is about are individuals who understand that their home might be volatile and willingly volunteer to bring their guns in. There are other circumstances where there may be guns that are legally owned by individuals, but our city may need to take this back because some individual does not want to give up that gun. That's where gun violence restraining orders come in. If you have a coworker, a neighbor, a family member who has a gun in the house, and you know it needs to be out of the house, you can come to SFPD, the sheriff's, or my office. Our office, we bring motions in front of judges to remove guns from households, and we can remove them from a household for up to 5 years. So we really want to just emphasize this is an option for anyone. If you know there's a gun nearby, and it shouldn't be there because someone may use it in a dangerous way, bring it to our attention. We can take it from there.
Thanks all.